Do you know what? What's up, guys? Happy Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. Thanks for tuning in to my latest video, The Life of a Jobbing Plumber. So this week's video, got a few things to tell you at the start, but we've got a unvented cylinder install in a flat with Marcus, and then I went to look at a plumbing repair with Glenn at probably one of the biggest and nicest houses I've ever worked in. There's going to be a lot of maintenance work there, plumbing wise, and there's going to be some bathrooms to be done there in the future, but we just looked at a leak from a shower coming through the ceiling, so there's that. So this week's video sponsored by Power Toolmate and Velocity Pro Gear tool bags. As always, the Power Toolmate PB5 code isn't working this weekend because they've got another promotion on, but it will be back up and running as soon as that promotion ends. So this week I did a podcast last 2 weeks ago with Billy the engineer. Now Billy, sometimes you'll see him at the end of my videos on here giving you some tips and a look at how he works on the caravans in Norfolk. Had him on the podcast. That episode is out tonight, so I'll link that in the description for this video. It was a really good episode. If you don't know, Billy's ex-army, so it's talking about how he went from being in the army to training to be a plumber and a gas engineer. We've also got Tool Monster on that show. Tool Monster, if you didn't know, they've also given me a discount code for you to use, which is Monster PB, and you'll get 10% off hand tools and whatever they sell on their site, so check that out. I'll pop a link for that in the description as well. On the subject of podcasts, this Friday I did one with a guest presenter because Alex was off with COVID, and it was Nick Bundy. You might recognise the t-shirt. So if you like my day in the life of a plumber videos, you might want to give Nick's channel a try, because it's a day in the life of an electrician. Really great guy, and he gave me this t-shirt. And I've just got to say, I got a lot of stick last week for my Austin 316 t-shirt for it being too tight, but these t-shirts I'm wearing, they're large. It's not like I'm wearing small t-shirts, they're large t-shirts. I've just been making far too many gains in the gym, so there's not much I can do about that, other than order an extra large, but then it'll just be too big round the waist. So yeah, if you can go easy on me on the t-shirts. So that's that. One more thing, Will Hartley, he's finally got another YouTube video out. I've been badgering him for ages to get some more content on his page. He's put a new video out. It's a great install, unvented cylinder system boiler. So check that out. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. And yeah, whatever you do next week, have a great week. I'll see some of you at the charity job in Oxford on Saturday. And we are also doing, if you want to join, there's a a wolf run with the Trade Legends team. I've got a code for that, so we can all start at the same time. I think that's in Warwickshire, somewhere around in the middle, but I'll put details for that in the description as well, so make sure you check the description out because there'll be loads of info in there. Enjoy the video. I'm going to shut up now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Right, I got a job in a flat today with, who's it going to be this time? Is it going to be Ben? Is it going to be Glenn? Is it going to be Craig? No, it's Marcus. Scraping the barrel today.
The old man.
What we're doing today, mate?
We're taking out a 4-tick cylinder because it's leaking, and we're fitting an unvented.
Nice. And I guess it's the top floor flat, is it?
Nah, you're lucky. Middle this time.
Nice.
It's alright, no worries. Can't trust these delivery drivers, can you, Pete?
Has he got the right one on the van?
Right one on the paperwork, but they've given the wrong stuff. Oh well. Yeah, no worries. Cheers, Mum. I've got 1.5 inches, yeah, it should have been 1.25 inches. Alright, pal. Cheers, ta-da. Yeah, I'll have to be. That's right, pal, cheers.
Typical.
Typical.
So on the ticket, it's the right pipe.
And he's delivered the right pipe.
But we all wanted a different pipe.
They've sent us a bigger pipe. Everyone loves a bigger pipe.
So typically you order the stuff for delivery and most of it's right, but there'll be something that's wrong. It'll normally be the one thing that'll hold the job up. So what they're gonna do, re-deliver them.
I'll have to nip to the plumber's merchant around the corner.
So we've got unvented cylinder in there, expansion vessel, ton dish, pan connector to alter the toilet. So let's have a look what we're going to do. So we've got vortex cylinder, which is leaking, so that's coming out. But currently we've got the water off, cap the cold in, and that's the hot out. 2 cups of tea. So that's the tank, stored water, that feeds this, which obviously is then heated up and then comes out to your hot taps. So that's going. We're replacing this with an unvented cylinder, so we'll have mains pressure hot water, which will be a lot better than this system. So if you imagine the water level there coming out of a tap, probably basin height here, that's the head of water. It's not much, so it's going to go from a dribble to a lot better. The other thing about these is, because you've got your stored cold there, and this is going to be sat at 60 degrees, 55, 60 degrees, the cold in the cold stored water there gets quite warm, which ain't great for Legionella reasons. So the only thing about this is we've got a overflow on this one, but the unvented is going to have a PRV, which we can't put onto that overflow because we don't know where it goes. Somewhere in the building, probably out that way. Yeah, it's all right. Sort of. So what we're going to do is come through the wall, change the pan connector on the toilet to one with an outlet, and then run it into that, so then we know exactly where it's going. So toilet's going to have to come out, new pan connector on, and then we'll run that through the wall. That's about it really, isn't it, mate?
I think so.
That looks like I'm just filming like we struggle a bit.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes it's good for people to see, right? So imagine if that had been fitted, and then sometimes they'll fit the door frame afterwards, or like in a loft, you'll have a tank in a loft that went in before the roof hatch, and then you can't get stuff out. We've done these before where you've had to cut the insulation off either side just to get out the cupboard. So just something to think about. Lovely.
So
Nice.
and that's why they're not very good for you.
Yeah. It's just deposits, calcium and whatever from the water. You can imagine that going to a tap and brushing your teeth with.
That's supposed to be a sacrificial anode. So
That's what's left of it. Just fell to bits.
Right. 520.
There's the new one. Obviously it's bigger, so I'm just checking if we can get it through the door.
520 wide.
520.
530.
Loads of room. Yeah. Nice. Just wondering if we can press onto that. Well, it's got a bit of compression. It says you can solder it. But can you press on it? I can't see why not.
Does it go to like the rooms and stuff?
No, literally. So copper's 99% recyclable. So if you, sorry mate, you need to get like any pipework we strip out,
Yeah.
take it to the scrap merchants.
Yeah.
They'll strip it so it's just pure copper.
Is this you can get that off? You can get that.
No, literally, that will get melted down.
Oh, okay.
It will go, and then they'll make call it copper billets. It's just like a piece of red hot copper, and then they stretch it into new lengths of copper.
Oh, nice.
So that cylinder will become that.
That pipe.
Yeah. So that's the bent pan connector onto the toilet there. take that off. Put this one on, which has got an inlet for a waste fitting, waste pipe. So we'll put our PLV discharge into that, and then go through the wall, because that cupboard there. No, this is the cupboard here, through the wall here, and the unvented cylinders on the other side of that. Just got to get this piece of boxing out so we can work on it. Hopefully, there's so you've got a straight into a bent there. There's enough room to just push that back without taking the toilet out, but we'll see. So I've just trimmed a little bit off the edge there with a multi-tool, just so I can get that piece out, because it was trapped behind the tiles there. So that's our cold coming through from the cylinder. That's our hot. Once he picks the toilet up. So you can see if pushing this off, we've got enough room for it to move back toward the wall to get it out. If we can do that, then we've not got to move the pan forward, but I'm not sure if there's enough room. Alright, so that's as far back as I can get it, about an inch. So yeah, unfortunately the toilet's got to come forward, which means we've got to disconnect the water as well, just so the whole thing will pull forward. And if it's screwed, it's probably screwed here as well. Well, what's left of a screw. One's already snapped off. So this is what will happen when you're working with another plumber. You will say to him, that pan connector's not coming off, and he'll go, oh, let me just have a go. Yeah. And then he'll try, and he'll really struggle, and then he'll finally admit that it's not going to come out without moving the toilet.
But because you don't like to get dirty, I'll do it.
I just touched the pan connector with no gloves on and an open wound.
What?
I don't give a fuck.
And then can take one screw out and it move enough.
I just like to watch other people struggle.
Yeah. What are you film? You film it, Pete.
So I've got an expansion vessel to go on the wall, so we're going to screw this bit of ply, big thick bit of ply to the wall there, and then we can fix it to that. Just because you've seen it 1,000 times, when these eventually end up not getting serviced and the expansion vessel fills with water, it just pulls it straight out of the plasterboard. So fixing it to that means it's never going to fall off the wall. It's just held in by that screw, mate.
Oh, what, that screw? Okay.
So it's turning into a bit of an ordeal now. It's trapped in by the overflow, so we can't pull it forward until we disconnected the overflow. I hate jobs like this.
Yeah.
Just
Well, it's going to take us half a day, Pete. We'll be home by dinner.
The cylinder's the easy bit, this is the difficult bit. So we're using, this is the pan connector, the Viva Easy Fit that you broke. Oh, it's all going on there. Tile broke. Yeah, Viva Easy Fit. So you got bent pan connector there, and you can see there's the waste fit in there. We can get our pipe into.
Oh,
Got
that's
it?
interesting. The overflow don't get to anything anyway.
Oh,
Like literally. Good job the toilet's never overflowed. I'm going to get that off there.
Is that even like a thing?
Yeah. I can't even feel the overflow down there. That was like that. There's not a pipe down there. I can't feel one.
but it went through a hole in the boxing.
Yeah.
That's what was holding it.
Wow. This screw here is holding it. Can't get this one out because it's that rotten.
This has just turned into a 45-minute episode because of this toilet.
How to remove a toilet for all the lot out there.
This is my idea of a nightmare job because a bathroom in a flat never has a window. So, look at the guns. God, look at the size of that vein on my bicep. Yeah, no windows, claustrophobic, fan, just hate it.
Another sweaty plumber.
If this job was in the summer and it was warm in here, I would be, yeah, I'd be raging.
Got a bit of screw on it. The screw's having it. Snap the bad boy off. That's what's been doing me in. Okay.
There we go, he's cracked it.
Yeah. Crack some.
Luckily not the pan.
Yeah, hopefully not the pan. Right. Was it put it into here?
Okay.
Put my glove on. Health and safety and all that. 30 years of plumper. And there's the new one.
Do you want some spray grease? Proper plumbing this.
Yeah. Smells quite nice as well, that one does.
He's done that before.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
So that's the new one on, and then the toilet's going to push straight back into
Straight
that.
in. Just tighten that screw back up there. There we go.
Lovely.
Nobody would even know we've been.
Right, so the toilet's back in. I've got to sort this out. Obviously, this is broke, and this has got to go back on. Right, I know what you're going to say. Black fittings, white pipe, but they let us down with the pipe. We had a bit of white on the van. It's going to be boxed in, so does it matter? No. The other side where we can see it is going to be black. So that's done now. I've put that side back together. Made the best job I could of that. So now I'll put the boxing back in. And we're done in here, and we'll crack on with the cylinder. Just before I put this all back on, just filled the toilet up. I'm going to flush it a few times just to check that this is all right. You can see a little bit of water there, that's from when he took it out. But obviously I'm going to test this before I fit all that, because if it leaks afterwards I've got to take it all off again. And that's the reason why I'm pissing out. Well, that was a bastard. Spent more time on the toilet than I have on the cylinder. So I ended up putting a new straight pan connector into there. The rubber had gone on that. Even when we twisted it, it still leaked. So the toilet had to come back out again, which is a pain in the arse, but it's done now, and it is. More importantly, it's not dripping. So I'm going to get the boxing back on now, and we're done in this room, and then we can crack on with it. So, do you know what? Right, so while I've been doing the toilet, Marcus has got the new cold in. He's screwed these Munson rings to the side of the tank. So the cold's going to come up, across, and then down to connect onto the cold fill in there. That's for our PLV, TPLV, so that'll be a ton dish on that. And then the hot's going to go down, obviously, and connect onto the top outlet. We've also got to get the expansion vessel into the composite valve. So what I'm going to do, try and bend a 90 there, and then kick it round, and then 90 back down into that and into that valve. So bend my first 90, I've worked out roughly that's the centre between the two, and I just want to kick it sort of this way. What would that be, like 25-30 degrees? So something like that. So that's in, bends round the profile of the tank down. It's got to go into that before it goes into that, through the multi-block, and then out of that teed in to pick up the expansion vessel. We decided on a compression for the outlet of the cylinder on the hot rather than press it, and luckily it keeps them on the van. Okay, so that's the hot in into that compression. So Marcus is just fitting the multi-block valve, and then I'm going to bend out of that expansion vessel down into that, and then we've got to connect it into there. Got a drain cock on there, and then we've got the TPRV, oops, and the PRV. They got linked together and go into that tundish there. Okay, bend it again, and 120.
Yep. 121, but I'll let go from them.
Thanks, mate. Okay, so that's the finished piece. I'm just going to go in there, and then
yeah, same.
in. Okay. So now I've got to take it back out and press it, because we're not going to get a press tool in there. Right, because we're pressing this out of situ, we need these to be at a certain angle. What we've done is marked it on the pipe and on the fitting, so that's got to line up with that mark, and that's got to line up with that mark, and that's how we want to press it. So now I can press that before we push it in. Right, I'm going to do this. Can you lend me a hand?
Happy with that, Mark?
Yep.
On them out there.
Sorted. So this is why I had to get an elbow for my van. This is Marcus's van stock.
It's Imperial. It's 3/4, it's that old. A bit like me.
How long's that been on your van?
Since I was an apprentice in 17s.
Okay, so that's all the pipe work done by the PRVs. So while we're doing them, we're going to let this fill up. Right, so I've got 2 clips on the wall. Come out of that, dog leg back into that clip, bend, T, pick that one up, bend up into that. That's the plan. So there's my first bend. Now I've measured it. Between here and where dog legs is 90 mil. I've said this loads of times, but basically the distance between that and if I hold a piece parallel with it, gives me my measurement. Just try and do it one number there, that's outside. There's my 90 mil. Okay, so that's the first one done. Drop that in the clips and into that, like that. And then I need to mark where my 90 needs to come off to give me room to get a T in, and then a bit of a 45 kick on a pipe there. So I'm going for just here. So that'll be my 90 coming this way. In fact, does that give me enough room? Just go a little bit higher. The second one. Now, because this kicks that way into there and I need my 90 to come straight, all I've done is on the centre of this pipe here, you can't really see it, but I'm drawing a line there so I know that when I'm in my bender, that's the centre line to give me that same angle there, if that makes sense. So there, to achieve the angle I want, see that, you can see the line there, it's not quite right, so I've just got to turn this pipe slightly. So there we go, that line's now running right down the centre, that'll give me the bend I want. So that's the 90, that's the angle of that. So it should like that, use them clips, and then running perfectly where I need it to go there. There we go. I forgot we were using press fittings, so there's not enough room really for me to put, well, there might be actually, but it's not bad like that. So that's going straight in there, and then I just need to come up into that one. That's it, like that, down there, into that. Marcus is going to press it. See the glory. Got to lag it.
Yeah. Offload all this Vitabo stuff. It's no good for you.
Get Milwaukee. So if you've not seen one of these before, this is a dry trap ton dish. So basically water can go through it, but smells can't come back up through it. So because we're connected on with a toilet pan connector, if that was a normal ton dish, this room would stink now. Call that a knife? This is a knife.
No, that's a spoon.
Ah, see, you've played knifey spoony before. We're done. Lovely job. Action shot for you. Got the old one coming down the stairs.
Wait.
No, you ain't.
I think I have.
The guy at the top never has all the weight.
It feels so heavy.
Come on.
Oh, you're just trying to get it in my face, aren't you? The water.
On our way to one of Glenn's chums.
Chum. That's one word.
So, when you're working with Glenn, you know it's not going to be a 2 up, 2 down.
No, it's
terraced house.
I think there's either 56 or 60 radiators in this house.
60 radiators.
I'm sure it's 60.
He's promised me peacocks.
Peacocks and guinea fowl.
You know when it's got a gate and a drive down to it, it's going to be good. Oh, there we go. What's that? Is that
Pheasant.
guinea? Is that a pheasant?
Pheasant.
Careful, don't shoot it. God, there's loads of pheasants in that field.
It's the archway to the courtyard.
Oh my God, the archway to the courtyard. Looks like something off Assassin's Creed.
There you go, there's the pheasants. The peacock, sorry.
Peacocks, guys. We promised you peacocks.
And guinea fowl.
We promised you guinea fowl. And we've delivered. Alright, guys.
How many do you want?
Oh my God, there's loads.
I told you.
Well, they all live here.
Yeah, they just roam around. And then he feeds them every morning with a loaf of bread.
Or is it Kingsmill?
Oh, too noisy.
Tallulah.
So they're coming on in the middle of the night?
Yeah, but they're like this.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they are literally.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. It can't be said. Why are they coming in the middle of the night?
I don't know. I have bought new programs to replace.
Right,
So this is the first job.
This is the first job we've got of many in this house. We've got a leak on this shower. We think the waste comes out this way and heads back into that stack, which we can show you in a moment. But we think it's under here, but it's going down 2 floors and going through the ornate cornice on the hallway. So it's a case of finding it, but we don't know if it's here or further back here,
Yeah.
somewhere.
Have you done any investigation?
None
so
none
far.
at all on this, yeah.
Okay.
None at all. But apparently that was changed a couple of years ago, this quadrant.
Right. So what I normally do on a shower is I will run water just down the waste, right, and see if it comes through. And if it doesn't, then I've proved that the waste pipe's okay. Then I start spraying it around the edges. You can see there's a little bit of a gap there. And then, but if we ping that skirting off.
But what makes me think it could be the waste is look at it.
Let's show the view. How's this for a view? Well, how's this for a garden? That is the garden. It's like being on a TV show, mate. Oh, let's get it out. Right, this is all on push fit. When I came the other day, this was all loose.
So what's that trap for?
That's the toilet overflow, but that's leaking as well.
Right. But it's got to be under that because the shower's
So
lower
the
level.
shower, I
It goes
think, will
into
come
that.
into this stack, but there's a great big steel there. So I think the shower is going to come along and back into this somewhere.
Oh, there's
So I can see that stack all the way down, and we can go into the
a
bedroom.
pipe there going this way. Oh, yeah, 45's there. So it's just here. Which, if that's the toilet, that works about right with the shower.
Yeah.
This way.
And there is a bung on that looks angled. So it could be, the bung is the wrong side of the wall. I think it's underneath the shower. Personally.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because there's an elbow there, then a
Yeah.
45 to bring it along. It just comes straight along here.
But it's underneath the shower where it's leaking there, definitely.
Okay. Let's go and ping the sides off.
Yeah.
This is awesome. It's got a sofa on the landing, if you can call this a landing. Feel like I'm in Hogwarts. So I just took the skirting off around the shower. It's only on with a bit of silicone and some pins.
Well, to me,
This side, there's the trap. The waste pipe push fit goes into the floor there.
that all looks dry this side.
Well, they've not used it for a while, have they? Because it's been leaking.
No, but there's no evidence there.
So what we'll do, we'll run some water just down that. You'll then be able to see if that trap's dripping.
Okay.
And then once we've done that, we'll spray around the edges and we'll see if the walls get wet. You can see myself in the reflection. Just twist that. So just gonna let that run straight down the trap. Nothing around the edge is gonna get wet. Then we can rule out just the waste pipe. Here it goes.
I think it might be that bung, mate. That bung to me looks like it's on an angle.
Well, I tell you what we could do. We've got the multi-tool.
on that
Why don't we
block.
make a square so we can actually inspect it?
Well, I can go and get my impact and we can take that.
I'll just take a sheet up.
Take this sheet up. Because that's going to be the majority of the work, isn't it?
Yeah.
The majority of the area.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Right, so it's just your edge that's nailed.
No, it's clear.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
The rubber's out. Is it wet? It's not wet though. Let me go and
But there is signs there.
I'll put some more water down it. Oh, I don't think I've got to rip the other side up. So we've got definite leak either from the strap boss itself or that rubber's not completely in. That is the shower. That rubber's dried out basically, so that
Yeah.
one's swapping.
Same as
And,
the one behind you there. For that one's dripping also.
yeah, so
That's dried out. So
we can change those. We can change those easy, no great shakes. You'd assume that was one length. You'd hope that was one length of pipe.
These are really
But if there's a socket on it, it could be on the socket.
There's a lot of water stain from here. And it's still the wrong way. We're that way.
Yeah. We can quote to renew the rubbers. We can renew most of this. If we bring a few lengths of pipe, a few different fittings, because obviously there's rubber O-rings in the fittings as well. If they're all,
That's mega loose.
yeah, we can just renew it all. spend half a day and just.
But that doesn't find our leak.
Well, it can only be
But that's the wrong side. That's going down
the other end
down
of
the stack. That's that,
Yeah.
and that's that. But I don't think. Bear in mind that leak is a couple of meters that way,
which is
unless
where-
it's travelling along this steel.
No, but we still don't know if we've got a leak underneath the shower tray under the boards, because if there's a socket, how far is that away? Is that more than 3 meters? If that's a 3 meter length
well,
pipe,
there's the basin behind, isn't it? And there's the stack for the toilets here. We're literally on the other side of the wall.
so we've got that goes down there. We've got another elbow and another elbow, but they're all dry, all bone dry. It's all dry underneath there. Nothing leaking on the toilet, is there?
This hasn't been used for a while. But saying that,
When I did pull the carpet back,
I can feel that wind actually. No wet.
I say we spray some around the edge of the shower tray now. It's been running down there for ages.
Okay.
happy with
It would
that.
be, there's no, so basically there's no between this elbow here and the other side of the wall, which we've already shown you. There's no joints in the pipe, so it's just one piece of pipe. So it's either leaking here on the trap in the joints, or through there on the joints.
Oh.
We'll start in that left corner. Basically start in this corner, on for a couple of minutes, see if anything comes through, then we'll move to that corner, and then finally that corner, and see if we can see anything dripping underneath.
And the glass there, look, on the metal. See it? You just touch it.
There you go, it's just run down the side.
One there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming up from that joint there.
Yeah. That's enough for it to run down the edge.
And that would evidence that as well, why that grip is
It's
rotting.
dripping onto the floor now.
Just very carefully, because obviously the door's open, doing the front corner now, just to see if there's anything going to come through this corner. Don't think there is.
For the shower is
Yeah.
not leaking. The pipe is just under here,
Yeah.
and we can see all along here, it's all dry, and we can see all the fittings.
Yeah.
No leak. We just ran this, and it's leaking from here. You can see it in a second. One there, and it's just going through that seal here.
But I can't
And that's
believe.
going down, and now that's dripping onto the floor now.
Yeah, I can see it.
There we go. And then that was rotted. Now, so what we can't do is we can't see, because we've only got that gap there,
Yeah.
we can't see to the back corner.
Well, I can guarantee, because that's where it should have all been. You know, when it was all replaced,
Yeah.
mentioning no names, this should have all been made.
Yeah, so that's what we can't prove. Now it could be the silicone, or it could be the bead, could be the joint, I don't know.
So now I'm going to ask a question.
Yep.
This shower is very, very rarely used.
Okay,
It just isn't used very often.
okay.
So how could it get so much water everywhere? It's not used every day. I mean, if it's used once a week, that's all it's used. Maximum. I mean, not even then.
Well, I can't think of anything else above floor,
Yeah.
and all of that's above floor.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just. I know water when it starts can
Yeah,
it's
it
horrific,
can
but I
track.
cannot believe we've got all that from that. I mean, you know, you boys are the experts, so I know you probably
Well-
tell me it's quite feasible.
Not.
How long are you in the shower when you have a shower?
Not very long. Oh no, I'm not like my daughters. They were in there for hours.
They
No.
use this one, they use another one.
I use various ones. But I can't believe, And I mean, you tell me I'm wrong. It was dripping so badly.
Right, so if you come in here,
Yeah.
just be careful of the floor. So the waste pipe where it joins into the stack here
Yeah.
is on a rubber bung.
Yeah.
You see how freely I can move that? You
Yes.
shouldn't be able to move that. So this rubber has basically dried out. So rather than it being a seal, it's so loose. Now if you were running the shower, all the water from the shower
That's
goes
going
through
to be the
there.
trouble,
It
isn't
could
it?
piss out like a...
And that's coming down into the shower room
That's
below.
yeah, your bathroom below.
Right.
And then below that.
And then the water's come through to the other shower room, the blue room, which is at the back of it. It's all dripped in there.
I've not seen that.
Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you. It was, I was with your father. That makes more sense
Yeah,
for the trouble
yeah.
than.
That's,
I'm not saying that isn't trouble, but that makes more sense to the trouble we've had.
Yeah, I mean, that could just be...
It's all plaster. It's not.
That
You see?
that is pretty much above where we are.
Yes, and
You see, look,
the stack
look,
next
look, the shower room
it's more that way, isn't it?
is more. It's not there because that's where you're.
That's the store.
That's the store.
Yeah.
That's the leak there. It's just the other side of that mirror then, in there. So it's,
But
yeah.
the stack, we can see where that stack is.
Yeah. So you've got that there, and I think that's.
That's the blue room now. So that's where that rubber bung is,
Oh,
directly
okay.
above. But that's that blue room. You're saying that blue room is...
It's there. It's that side.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that ties in there.
Yeah.
So it's all connected. You see.
Yeah, that's all linked. This place is unreal. I love it.
Yeah. See, we had buckets. Look, so it was all pouring through.
Yeah, that stack goes in. Because there's the curved wall. Oh, it's almost behind there.
Yeah. Well, then that. Right. So now come with me then. If
So what's behind that then?
Look.
Ah, yes. Okay.
It's like a maze. Do you get lost all the time? Do you? Go on. Go on.
Yeah. Makes sense. So,
There's the sack.
so with the water, it's running down the side of the stack all the way,
And
hitting the bottom, and then
Yeah.
it will go out. that
absolutely.
way.
Yeah.
So how come we're changing these?
Well, that one's got a broken screen anyway, but the customer doesn't get on very well with that particular mate.
Sangamo.
Sangamo. So they're not,
Sangamo.
they're not the easiest to use.
Here we go.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
You're welcome.
You like the UPH gear, don't you?
Yeah, I've only started using them the past year or so, and I quite like them.
3 ports are good, aren't they?
The 2 ports are brilliant, yeah. Right, now, I've got to...
Is it annoying you that one clock says 10:50 and one says 10:51?
No, but what does annoy me, and it annoys Claire even more so, that the upstairs is on the bottom and downstairs is on the top.
Why did you fit it like that?
I didn't do it.
Leave it as it is now.
I'm going to, trust
Leave
me.
it as it is because I've got used to it. Okay.
It's like when your hot tap's on the right and your cord's on the left, you just get used to it, don't you?
That is...
Glenn's going to explain all this system to you in a minute, guys.
I'm just trying to remember now. I've got to remember what the pumps were.
So what we've got reports of was a banging, clattering noise coming from where those 2 pumps are. And we're just trying to work out what it could be. It's a sealed system, but I think it might be a bit of air somewhere, trapped air. There's no zone valves opening or closing, it's running off a header.
Working perfect now, no noise, but that AAV is going. on the ground floor. There. Got a bit of air on that leg, which I can't understand because that's on the ground floor. We have got a commissioning valve up there though. Let me get the steps out. Oh, hang on. Vessels are full. So I need to do that as well. And that vessel is tied into that, yeah, how about it's that?
Yeah.
That vessel's full. That's full.
They're on the heating circuit.
I think the water one might need doing. Yeah, I need to do all the vessels.
Okay.
Okay, so I can do that when we come back. So that's that. This system, we changed the hot water system.
Glenn, what did you just fan?
The expansion vessel.
Do it again.
It's a good job I'm slim and athletic.
Oh, I know. Wonderful. Middle one.
It's like me playing the bongos.
I know, but
So those expansion vessels are all full. There's like a balloon inside, which
Right.
takes the expansion of the system. If
this is like a.
Well, no, that could be because I've just found out we've got some air coming out on that circuit.
Right.
So if those expansion vessels,
Yeah.
if they're depleted of air,
Yeah.
we've got no expansion. Now, when I came last time,
Yes.
your floor was full of air.
Yes, it was.
So we've dropped some pressure, and the
Right.
pressure was low. So the PRVs could have gone off,
Right.
emptied the system, bit of air, and if that vessel is on that
Well,
pipe, which
that-
it is, it could all be
that
related.
sounds
so
like
I'll,
it is it.
I'll get those done as well next
Because
week.
I've never ever heard anything. It's like a steam train.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get that
Oh,
sorted.
thank you.
It's alright, we're getting there. I told you, one step at a time. We'll get there.
Right.
Right, so how this works, we've got two boilers, got programmers, and they distribute heat throughout the property using different pumps and non-return valves for each zone. So we've got no zone valves. And then we've got plate loading system here, plate heat exchanger, and a loading pump which feeds hot water from the boilers through the plate and loaded into this buffer here. The property had two unvented cylinders before, but the recovery rates were poor and they needed something more efficient because they've got, I think, 5-6 bathrooms here. So that's the hot water system, which has been vastly condensed, believe it or not.
So how many litres in that?
That is 350 litre buffer.
And that's recharged by the plate?
Yeah, so you can
How
see...
fast is the recharge time? Quite fast?
It is quite fast. If you can see, the red is the actual temperature and the green is target temperature.
Right.
So once the hot water's on, I think from cold to fully charged, I think it's something like 20 minutes,
Wow.
15 minutes.
Okay.
So
So basically, because the if you imagine flow and return from the boiler gets pumped through that plate, yeah,
yeah,
and then depending on whether you want the downstairs heating on, that brings on one pump,
yeah,
upstairs heating on brings on another pump,
Yeah.
upstairs tower radiators brings on another pump, and that pump just takes the heat out of the plate
yeah,
and distributes it. So there's
Yeah.
no zone valves, nothing else.
yeah. The only thing we've got is a 3-port valve there, which will mix the water to the right temperature for this plate.
Cool.
Yeah. And then we've got immersions in here on backup.
When did you fit this?
We did this hot water system about 3-4 years ago.
It's works.
Oh, awesome. Compared to what it used to be, they really struggled. So they had to kind of stagger their bathroom times.
Yeah.
But now it's just all in. Get it done.
Nice one.
So yeah, decent little setup.
What's the shotgun for?
Boxes.
Electricians. Pheasant City out there. Danny champion of the world.
Look at these two here.
He's sat on that pot.
White peacock.
Chilling. When I'm older, I would like a job being like a groundskeeper, a place like this.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? It's so therapeutic.
Ride on mower, laser level on the box bush. I'd be in that little shed down there. I'd have a little kettle tea. I'd have a toasty maker and a little kettle in that shed down there.
and some porno mags. That's the oil tank for those two boilers. How many litres?
I don't know, but it's a lot. It must be 10,000.
It's like fucking Gordon off Thomas the Tank Engine.
Need to draw a face on the front of it.
It's massive. Lovely. So how did you get this job?
I was recommended from a plumber. It was too much for him. So we've been looking after this property for about 5 years now.
Nice.
Right, direct unvented cylinder. Multifunctional valve. You've got your PRV, you've got your thermal relief, you've got your D3 and your dry ton going into high temperature pipework into a soil system. Blending valve, building regs, expansion vessel. All well and good for a small dwelling, but how can we simplify this? Because that can be a problem, especially in the middle of a flat. So how can we simplify this problem and make it an easier installation? So we opted for a thermal store. Why? Well, the benefits of a thermal store. This one comes pre-plumbed. It has a blending valve built in, mini expansion vessel for the hot off of the coil to stop any banging or expansion on the coil. You don't have to have a pressure reducing valve set up. You don't have to have a D3 ton dish, etc. running into a waste. So the option there, no problem with safety devices because it's vented. This is actually vented. I spoke to the manufacturers and said, do I have to run this into an open? No, leave it open-ended, they said. Leave it open-ended. It's a dosing point. Put 2 bottles of inhibitor in because the inhibitor protects the immersion heaters. Because it runs at a hotter temperature to most direct cylinders, you have to protect the immersion heaters. So 2 bottles of inhibitor will help that out. It's a manual fill, so there shouldn't be any chance of overflow because if this isn't on, it's not going to overflow. So what I would do, because I asked a question to the manufacturer, I said, well, I'm going to take the handle off then because it will stop any tenants or anyone actually turning that on and danger of overflowing when it's an open end. Still can't really get my head around that, but that's what they said to me. So yeah, there are many benefits to having a thermal store. Still work at 20 litres a minute. Yeah, it's a straight in and out. Basically, your cold water pipe work comes in here, goes through the coil, comes out hot through your blending valve to your hot. And that's basically it. I think it's a no-brainer. Rather than having an unvented cylinder where you've got to have to worry about the PRVs, the thermal reliefs, and all that malarkey. You've not got to worry about any of that safety device because it's vented. So yeah, for me, a no-brainer. So I'm working on this site, but I've got to bring a 4-inch pipe out to vent the bathrooms that I'm working on. But it's amazing the stuff you come across, isn't it, when you're actually working. I mean, why? It's absolute dog poo. This isn't nothing to do with the job I'm on. It's next door, but you just think, whoa, there's some rough stuff out there. So while I wrap up, thanks Pete for letting me on your channel. But little observation about us in the trades, really. Old people, love them to bits. Love them to bits. You'll get a phone call from an old person, they'll go, oh, I seem to have a bit of a leak on my toilet, dear. Could you come over and have a look? I'll come over and I'll have a look, love. Don't worry, I'll come over on the way home, I'll have a look. So you get round there, get in there, you fix it. It's taken 5 or 10 minutes. They say, oh, thank you very much, dear. How much do I owe you? He says, look, I'll tell you what, just call it a tenner, love. Just call it a tenner. Cover me diesel. Oh, thank you, so who do I make the check out to? Thanks, YouTube. Thanks, Pete.